Thank you guys for tuning into Pages and Profits. Today we have a book review for you. The book that we're going to go over is The Richest Man in Babylon. And this book is one of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon. And basically what I'm going to do is just go over a few takeaways that I got from this book. I literally have 7 key takeaways that I got from this book. I would recommend you go out and get the book because we all have different perspectives in life. We all have different situations in life. And if you go ahead and read this book, you might get things from this book that I wasn't able to pick up when I read it, right? I have read this book a few times already, and it is one of my top 5 books. And without further ado, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to hop right into it and go over the different takeaways that I got from this book. Like I said, I have 7 of them. And the first takeaway I got from this book is pay yourself first. Now, most people, when they get paid, they get their paycheck, they either just spend it on things that don't matter, or they go ahead and pay the bill collector first. They pay everybody but themselves. And what this book is saying is put away 10%, right? It's coverage 10%, but if you can't do 10%, you can at least do 5%, right? Put away a portion of your income away, right? And the book is basically saying that when you put away 10% of your income, you won't even miss the 10%. It'll be look like you never missed it. And this 10% is going to be used for investments in the future, right? But think about it like this, man. If you don't pay yourself first, when investment opportunities come up, right? When they pass you by, you won't be able to take advantage of those investment opportunities. And I'll tell you that I had many of these opportunities pass me by, and I wasn't able to take advantage of them in the past because I did not pay myself first. So guys, we want to pay ourselves first, right? That's the first takeaway from this book. The second takeaway from this book is to invest wisely. So when you do start to accumulate a nice amount of savings and you're able to go out and invest in assets, right? Things that are going to put money into your pocket. That's what an asset is. You want to invest wisely. So we don't want to go to people that don't know what they're talking about, right? We want to invest wisely. So basically in the book, the individual Arcad, I believe he went to the brick maker and he wanted to invest, but the brick maker knows about bricks, but the brick maker wasn't going to invest in bricks or concrete or infrastructure. The brick maker was going to go out and invest in jewels, and the brick maker knows nothing about jewels. So basically the principle that this book is saying is that don't go to someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, who is not specialized in the field that they're talking about investing in. So I wouldn't go to a brick maker to invest in jewels when the brick maker is not a specialist in jewels and different kind of stones, right? I would invest in the brick maker if he's going out and he's purchasing materials to build. That's when I would invest in the brick maker, right? Another example for you is I wouldn't talk to somebody who is more versed in building businesses. I wouldn't go to a person who's really, really knowledgeable in building businesses if they're going to invest in a stock market. And if they have no experience in the stock market, I'm not going to go to them for advice, right? So you basically want to consider the source, and you want to talk to people who know what they're talking about, right? When it comes to investing wisely, right? That's the second takeaway, right? The third takeaway is to avoid debt. Now, this is a very controversial topic. A lot of people say you want to avoid bad debt, right? Good debt is good. And most people say that there's 2 types of debt, right? There's good debt and bad debt. Good debt is debt that puts money into your pocket, debt that you can use to acquire assets, right? Bad debt is like credit, racking up credit cards and putting yourself in debt that's not putting money into your pocket, right? So a good example of good debt would be me going to a bank, taking out a loan to purchase a multifamily property. And that multifamily property is going to give me cash flow each and every single month. That's good debt. I'm using that debt to purchase an asset that's going to put money into my pocket. And also that asset should be able to, the money you make from that asset that you're generating should be able to pay off that debt as well, right? So that's a definition of good debt. Bad debt is me taking a credit card, maxing it out, going online and buying things that don't matter or I won't have right in the future, right? Things that are not an asset, things that are not putting money into our pocket. Bad debt is like me going out and just racking up liabilities, right? We all been there. We've all racked up liabilities, right? We all know what that is. So that's not hard to understand. The fourth principle I would say is a great takeaway from this book is to live within your means. Now, I'm going to do a single podcast on this principle alone because I believe it's a trap, right? It's a trap when it comes to society. You see, a lot of us, we go online and we see other people, they're living it up. They're flying to all these places, doing all these things. And we're like, man, we want to go ahead and do that. And we live in a society who wants instant gratification, even more so than, 10 years ago. People don't want to work for what they have or what they desire nowadays. So what are they going to do? They're going to go out there and they're going to rack up all this debt just to compete with other people online. And this principle, live within your means that if you don't have it, you ain't buying it, pretty much, right? If you don't have it, you're not buying it. And we can all learn from that, right? Most of the people you see online are just showing you the good parts of their lives. They're not showing you the bad parts of their lives, right? We see all these people that are, couples goals, this, that, and the third, but we don't know what they're actually going through, right? We just see the good. So understand that the grass is not always green on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. If you water your situation, if you water your circumstances, if you put work in, you will be able to live the life that you want to live. But for the time being, until you get there, you want to live within your means. You can live within your means. There's a lot of things that we can do to keep the money that we have, right? There's a lot of things that we don't need in our lives, a lot of fat that we can cut, that we can take and invest it into assets and things of that nature, right? And I'm not just talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself because we all fall into this trap, man. We get online and if most people will say, money's not everything, but money, if you have money, it helps you breathe a lot better. So that's kind of a lie that a lot of people tell themselves. Most people would like to live a better life. Let's just be honest, right? Most people would like to live a better life. So the best way to live a better life is to set yourself up to live that better life. But you have to delay gratification for a little while. And if it takes you 5 years, 10 years to live the life that you want to live, wouldn't it be worth it? Why would you want to put yourself in a debt situation or a compromising situation just to flex online? Right? So live within your means. Simple as that, right? You don't worry about the Joneses, right? The Joneses, they might be showing you a certain lifestyle, but let's be honest, most of these people are living check to check, just like everybody else. So, like most people at least. So, live within your means. The fifth principle that we can learn from this book, right, is make your money work for you. Now, the reason why we're putting money away, the reason why we're paying ourselves first is to make that money make money for us, right? And that's basically buying assets that cash flow with our money. So basically you take that money and you shop around and you do your research to see where you can place that money to accumulate more money, right? And literally it's crazy because you literally using this, the book goes over you. It's like you're using this money as a slave, right? Your money is like basically your slave, and it's going out there working for you, right? Working for you to bring you more money. So this can look like any type of thing. Let's just say you go out there and you're invested in cryptocurrency, obviously the right ones. This is not financial advice, by the way. Hashtag not financial advice. I'm just giving you an example of something you might be able to do to earn more money. You invest in cryptocurrency, and let's just say it gains 10% interest over time. That's a way that you can help your money work for you, right? Because basically what you want to do is you want to beat inflation. You want to beat the devaluation of the dollar, or whatever currency it is that you hold. So that's the key point right there, is to make your money work for you. Now, the sixth principle that you're going to get from this book here is to seek knowledge. Most people stop learning when they leave school. Most people don't want to learn anything else right after school. And this book is basically encouraging you to go out there and learn something new each and every single day, right? When you learn something new every single day, you're growing, right? When you're going out there and experiencing life, you're becoming a bigger person, a better person. If you're not somebody who likes to grow, you're hurting yourself, right? You're killing your future, because growing is a key thing that you need to do if you want to become the better version of yourself, right? There's a quote that says, if you're not growing, you're basically dying, right? If you're not growing, you're basically dying. Something that doesn't grow is regressing. It's going backwards. And that's not what we want to do. If we want to become better and have a better life, then we want to grow. And what's one thing we can grow? Reading these books, right? Reading these books and learning something new every single day. Now, the seventh principle, right? The last key principle from this is to take action. You see, we can sit here all day till we're blue in the face and talk about things we can do to get better. But if we don't put these things into action, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So you want to take action, right? And action is like the number one thing. A motivated idiot that's out there taking action is better than a smart person not taking action. I'll say that again. A motivated idiot that's out there taking action is better than a person that's not taking action. Why? Because at least that person is doing something towards the goal that they want, right? And that's the key thing here, is that we want to put these principles into play. Now, I'll use another analogy about taking action. It's like, because fitness is something that I'm very, very knowledgeable in. This is something that I do every single day. If I'm a person that wants to become better and have a nice body, and I know a lot about fitness, but I don't ever show up to a gym, I don't ever lift a weight, I don't ever eat healthy food, then I'm not going to be a healthy person. It doesn't matter how much I know, right? Because that's basically knowledge on ice, right? We don't want to be knowledge on ice. We want to be out there on the court, in the field, right? Playing in the game. We don't want to be on the bench or in the stands, right? We don't want to be a spectator. We want to be on the court, in the field of life, playing the game. Because life is a game, right? Life is basically a game. So those were the takeaways that I got from this book. I'll just go over them real quick. All the key principles, right? The first principle was to pay yourself first. The second principle was to invest wisely, right? Consider the source. Who are you getting your advice or information from? Very, very key thing right there, right? Who are you listening to? If they don't have what you want, you shouldn't be listening to them, right? The third takeaway is to avoid debt. The fourth takeaway is to live within your means. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else. Stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane. You don't know what that person is doing to get what they have. It could be good, it could be bad, but you don't know. You don't know what's going on over there. You don't need to know because it doesn't concern you. What concerns you is what you're doing to have a better future for yourself. That's what concerns you, right? The fifth key takeaway is to make your money work for you. Take the money that you're paying yourself first with, and take that and invest it into assets that's going to cash flow more money, right? It's going to give you money and put money into your pocket and pay off the debt that you took out to buy that asset, right? The sixth takeaway is to seek knowledge, to learn something new every day, to always learn something new every day. And the seventh takeaway is to take action. It doesn't matter if you know all this information, if you don't use it, if you don't apply it to your life, then what is the point of even being here, right? You got to apply these principles to your life. You got to take action on these principles, guys. So thank you for tuning in to this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. I think I'm just going to obviously do at some point a deep dive into every single one of these principles because there's a lot we can learn. This is basically just an overview of what that looks like. But yeah, man, pick up a copy of this book. It's a really good book. It's in story mode, so it's even easier to read. It's very, very captivating. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.